Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is Democracy and the Rule of Law. Let's take a look at the Senate now, where they Tuesday confirmed as non-career diplomats the country's 5 ex-service chiefs. Shortly after the report was read, Minority Leader Senate Naya Baribe questioned why petitions raised during the screening process were not considered. Of course, that prompted debate, and upon confirmation, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan said the ex-service chiefs need be well rewarded for their services. Now, that is where we'll anchor the discussion. The ex-service chief needs to be rewarded for their service. What do you think he meant?
That statement is quite very embarrassing.
And insulting.
I mean, the statement is insulting because the service chief failed in their primary responsibility to secure Nigeria from external aggression. Internal and external aggression. Whilst they were serving, there were internal and external aggression. There were killings, there were deaths all over the place. They were unable to secure the space. Okay? So I actually cannot fathom out why they should be rewarded for incompetence, for failure, and for irresponsibility. Because their primary assignment, they were unable to carry out, they were unable to work according to. So, I mean, I think that what we have done, what I can just read from this is that because they were involved in a lot of issues that can be viewed as crime, perhaps the ambassadorial position or appointment is to shield them away from prosecution because of immunity. That is what
we talked about that, but some legal practitioners have come out to say that that doesn't shield them at all, especially from International Criminal Court, and they've been looking into this situation.
Yes, I'm saying that might be the perception of those who concocted the idea to appoint them. But if you look at it really, it does not really shield them because for crime against humanity, crime of aggression that the ICC have jurisdiction over, if for nothing, just the NSAS protests where soldiers went and opened fire on peaceful protesters, that should be enough reason you should even sack them in the first place. Then you came out to say they resigned. And then you think that the 5 of them are qualified for ambassadorial position just automatically like that. The 5 of them are qualified for what? So, I mean, the way this government, I said something that don't ever underestimate the power of foolish people. Why? Because if there are many enough in a nation, they will elect a president. What we have here is a process that it's an eye-opener to Nigerians, because when the Nigerians were gunning for this presidency and this president, I said it that time, the president had no capacity to deliver. From the outset, it was clear, but Nigerians overwhelmingly wanted a change that was sold to them, erroneously, and this is where we are today.
Okay, let me go back to Abeokuta, where Barrister Kaka is standing back. Now, we are talking about the ex-service chiefs now, confirmed as non-career ambassador. Now, among so many allegations, this government, seemed to put a stamp on the insinuation that we have an executive or a leadership structure that don't listen to the cry of its people. Now, Nigerians cried out before the ex-service chiefs, as it were, resigned, according to presidential aid. And now the president brought them in as nominee for non-career ambassadors, and Nigerians were crying out to that, what is wrong with you? And the Senate confirmed them nonetheless. Why do you think that is so? What's your thought, briefly?
The president may have his reasons for confirming them and for giving them that ambassadorial position. However, one of the reasons may be that maybe he wants to keep them busy so that they won't join the banditry. They won't join those who will be encouraging the insurgencies that is going on in the country now. And as we know, because of the experience in the military, he know the reason might probably be that, okay, let me just keep them out of the country so that they will be busy somewhere else. There won't be any disturbances or whatever from them. In the alternative, it may be a kind of patting them in the back that, well, boy, you've done a good job for me. What we ask you to do for the government, you've done well. So this is a parting gift for you. However, whatever the reason, well, I think somebody that everybody almost adjudged that they've not done well, they've not performed creditably well, at least should not be given any position. But like I said, and I want to maintain they have their reason for doing so and for giving them that ambassadorial position. Thank you very much.
So let me have their say on that. I mean, I raised my eyebrow too. I mean,
well, we will have different perspectives to this whole issue.
Okay.
I think that the president did that just to shield them away. Perhaps, possibly, he thought maybe that will keep them away from prosecution and the rest of it. But that will not solve the problem. And much so that whenever there's a public outcry against a particular situation, the president either will not act or act late or will do the exact opposite. If you look at this same service chief, you know how long Nigerians clamor that they be changed. It took 3 to 4 years before he finally asked them or they resigned.
Okay, your view, because we still have one more.
First and foremost, I'm wondering why we say the service chief resigned when their tenure had expired. How can you resign when you have expired? What are you resigning? That's one. Two, I believe the president is not in charge. I believe strongly that the president is not in charge. So
a couple of Nigerians have actually raised their fears.
Yes. So when you tell me that the president did this to shield them from, I don't think so. I don't think the president even listens to news. I don't think he reads newspaper. I think he wakes up in the morning, takes his tea or agbo.
Then his aides brief him.
They don't even brief him. The aides brief some other people.
How do you think he will function without all this information?
Who is functioning? That's what I'm asking you. Who is functioning? I do not think that a father in his right senses will see these things happening and keeps quiet. How can you promote a man that has failed? This is Nigeria belongs to all of us, including the president. He's not more Nigerian than I am. You're sending this man abroad to do what? They couldn't solve the immediate problems they could see here. Do you think they can solve whatever comes their way wherever they go? Every time look, the problem is that Nigerians are looked at as fools and will remain so until we take action.
Okay,
that's my position.
Now, on the flip side, now the Nigerian Senate approved 11.35 billion naira as the 2020 budget of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund. Now, part of the NSAS clamor, is the fact that the Nigerian police is underfunded.
Yes.
Their salary is small. Let's not even go to the psychological evaluation, but the majority has mostly surrounded finances. How far do you think this 11.35 billion naira will go to aid the police in, functioning properly?
Yeah, before now, we're told that we'll have 340,000 policemen. Before the recruitment of the 10,000 that created a friction between the Police Service Commission and the IG. So let's assuming but not considering that what we have is 340,000 policemen who are largely underfunded, especially the low-ranking,
junior cadet.
Yes, highly unfunded. They don't have good accommodation. The police college where they were recruited from is bad. Okay, their salary is not much. Their work condition is difficult. They are transferred from the north to the south without shelter, without food, without water. I've met a lot of them. I've met policemen who asked me to give them the bread I had in my car. and the what I had, I gave to them. You see, that is to tell you that when we develop a security architecture where its personnel are treated as subhuman, then we're going to have problems. So the trust fund and then the 11 billion naira and the rest of it, it's not about the size of the fund, it's about the management of it. It's whether this fund
will get to
will trickle down, whether it will be
Get
used,
to the right place.
whether it will be used for the purpose for which it has been earmarked for. That is one of the issues. The corruption in the police is so endemic.
Humongous.
Okay, I mean, if you go to an average police station, you see the way they live. Even police within themselves do not trust themselves. Unlike soldiers that have level of trust, police do not trust themselves. They are against one another in their own place of primary assignment. So I think that much more than funds, there's a whole lot of evaluation that should take place here. I mean, there's a whole lot of upscaling that should take place here. The qualification for entrance to the police force should be upscaled. The psychological effect, the training should be different. Something fresh should be. And then much more than that, if funds are meant for a purpose, the government must ensure that that purpose is achieved.
Okay, before I come to you, round up with you, let me go back to Abeokuta, Barrister Kaka. So the same question, 11.35 billion naira. How far do you think this fund will go to cater for the police? Just 1 minute, because we have less than 3 minutes to go.
Well, I think it will go a long way if it is judicially put into use. If it doesn't go down the drain or siphoned as the case used to be, however, let them channel it into the appropriate quota by making sure that all the necessary ammunition, all their houses are put in place, the salary are paid promptly. If all these are done, at least when the police, when they are happy, they will be able to discharge their duty creditably well. So that is my take, sir.
Thank you very much for your time, Barrister Ajibola Kaka from Abeokuta. Thank you so much for being part of the show. So let's round up with you now.
My take is this: before that money gets to where it's going, before it even gets to the police purse, half of that money would have been frittered away. I guarantee we'll come back here and we'll still discuss this thing again. Half of that money, that's 11 billion. Before it gets to the police purse, it will be 6 billion first. Now, before it gets to what it's going to be used for, it will be 2 billion. And then we'll come back to square one. I think we should root out all these evil men. Well, they are evil. And we all know them. We know them. That's why a man will kill to get into political position. Just to do these things. Go to Ikeja. Like I said, I totally align with my colleague here. Fix the road, fix their stations, give them good education, uniforms, and then you won't see. If you drive from Lagos to the east, there are about 150,000 police checkpoints. Why are they there?
And all of them collecting
Right.
100 naira. Okay, unfortunately, this is where we have to draw the curtain for this week's edition of Democracy and the Rule of Law. Thank you so much for your time. Next week, Sunday, is another day. Thank you so much for your time, Barrister Evans Ufili and Barrister James Ononelu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Next week, Sunday, is another day on Galaxy Television, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm Solomon Offen. Good afternoon.